BST 1819023. Your camera is on. Zero two three. Your camera is on. Okay, I'll start the session. Last day we discussed, we tried to find a definition.
Recording in progress.
Okay. What we did last week is we discussed and we tried to find a definition for engineering economics. I explained you what is economics, as well as I built a ladder to engineering economics from economics, because we should learn very sophisticated tools in financial economics, in engineering economics, but still you are in the first stage of this learning process. So you must understand the basic things in economics. Otherwise, you will be unable to analyze cost benefit analysis, project appraisal, compounding, then that kind of things in our syllabus. You will be unable to find the solutions and find the answers for even questions without having the basic understanding of economics. That's why I allocated my 2-3 lectures to giving you the basic introduction about economics. Yes, what we did last week, we discussed our study guide, as well as we define what is economics. Then we discuss branches of economics and major types of economics, microeconomics, macroeconomics, as well as development economics, as well as applied economics. That kind of things we discuss, as well as we try to find a definition for engineering economics. That is the thing we discussed first week. Today I am going to elaborate further. The engineering economics is studying about engineering things in economics, in an economic perspective. We put spectacles decorated and made by economics to see the engineering things. That is engineering economics. In this slide, you can see economic decision making for engineering system is called engineering economics. That's why I said we put spectacles on in economics to see the things in engineering things. The definition may seem restricted to engineering projects and systems only. You are going to be engineer, so you are going to think, you are going to see the projects as well as your products in economic perspective. The study of industrial economics in social sciences faculties, we offer some subjects related to engineering things and industrial things. That subject is called industrial economics, and the financial factors, some cost benefit analysis, cost things in economics. But engineering economics highly related to engineering projects. Engineering economy is, I said at the very beginning, I explained this subject was called engineering economy also at the very beginning. Engineering economy is a collection of techniques we used techniques. We practice some skills to specialize in some techniques that simplify comparisons of alternatives of an economic basis. Alternatives. What does it mean? Collection of techniques and simplify comparisons of alternatives. If we assume we are farmers, what are the alternative methods we have to harvest our paddy? What are the alternative methods? What are the alternative techniques to reap our harvest? What are the methods we use? Don't you know? What are the methods you use to reap your harvest, reap your paddy production? What are the methods? Okay, try to think what are the methods we use, okay? Your cooperation is highly important to continue the lecture. So if you not give your input, I can't explain what I am going to say. I ask one question from you. What I ask from you is, what are the methods we use to harvest our paddy? What are the machines we use? What are the instruments we use? That's a question I ask. Okay. You don't give the answer, so I think you know everything. Okay. Engineering economy is not a method. Engineering economy is not a method. It's not a method. But we evaluate the cost and benefit of these kind of methods. Engineering economics begins only after the alternatives have been identified. I said at the very beginning, we have some alternatives. As engineers, we have some alternatives. We need power. Okay? Today, we face huge problems in power failures. Okay? So, yeah. What are the alternative methods we produce power? What are the alternative methods we use to produce power? Lahiru? Lahiru, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Lahiru. What are the sources of electricity production or power production? This is related to general knowledge now. What are the sources of electricity?
Hydro.
Sorry?
Hydropower, sir.
Very good. Hydropower. Then?
Wind power.
Wind power. Yes.
Solar power.
Solar power.
Nuclear.
Yes. Fossil fuels we can use, no? Nuclear power. Very good. Fossil fuels. By combustion of fossil fuels. Maybe diesel. Yeah. These are the alternative ways of producing power. As engineers, you know different types of ways to produce power. It is not engineering economics. It is engineering. Okay. You know, some engineers are related to electrical engineers now. Electrical engineers know how to produce wind power, how to produce hydropower, how to produce power from the fuel and solar power. They know everything. But they don't know what is the least cost source of producing power. Did you understand what I am saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes. If you want me to clarify or explain in Sinhala, please tell me. Then I'll explain several things or what you want, okay, in Sinhala. But I'm not going to deliver the lecture in Sinhala, so you have to adapt to the lecture in English. Okay, yeah. But as an example, this is also highly related to your general knowledge. I'll ask this question from, please rename your accounts by your name, okay? Dinusha, can you hear me? Dinusha? Ruwant? Ruwant? Kusal? When I call your name, I put your name here, okay? This is the active participation for lecture. Then I'll allocate some marks as when I mark assignments. Kusal? Kusal? Kusal, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Kusal, have you heard the least cost method of producing electricity? Least cost method. Have you ever heard? The what is the lowest cost method? We explain hydropower, solar power, wind power, then fuel by using fuels, then different ways we can use to produce electricity. What is the least cost method? The highest cost method is combustion of fuels, no? Electricity producing by using diesel. What is the least cost method? You don't know. Okay.
Water.
Water, maybe, no? Okay. That is the question I want to ask. As engineers or as the students in technology faculty, you don't know how to assess these things. Okay. You know how to fix a plant or machineries to produce electricity as engineers. But you don't know how to assess the minimum cost minimization method here. That's why we learn engineering economics. That's why this statement says that engineering economics begins only after the alternative have been identified. As economists, we can't give you the alternatives, but we can assess each and every one of the alternatives. We can assess what is the cost of hydropower, what is the cost of wind power, what is the cost of nuclear power, what is the cost of other renewable energy sources. We can assess each and every method. That's why after introducing alternatives, we can assess as economists. If the best alternative is actually one that the engineer has not even recognized as an alternative, then all the engineering economic analysis tools will not result in the selection. As engineers, you can't select one project one time, but you have to assess many things. I have only 3 slides further. Then I'll move to my next part. Then engineers are the people who are familiar with all the technicalities of machinery and production. Engineers work with machines. The useful lives of an asset. They also have the technical knowledge. They are the live people work with machines, as well as they have the technical knowledge to calculate the number of units produced. As an electrical engineer, he can calculate how many units he can produce by using this machine. But without having understanding of economics, they can't assess the market value of these units they produce. What will be the market value after 10 years? What will be the market value of after 15 years of these machines? Always our people are criticizing the Norachola power plant, the worth of future value of the worth of this project. So if we want to assess this, we must have economics knowledge. Then, in today's competitive world of business, it has become essential that engineers should practice financial project analysis for engineering projects and make rational decisions. As an engineer or as engineers, you must assess these projects. Other thing is, you are the resource person some companies hire for their development projects. Then when you are hired by different companies, you must give your consultation to that company. If you want to give your consultation to those companies, you must have this kind of financial analytical skills to take rational decision. Rational means worthwhile decisions. Engineering economy also includes the study of accounting practices for manufacturing concerns. That is a very important work. The engineering economy includes two branches, two subject disciplines, production economics as well as accounting. Accounting practices of manufacturing concerns. You are going to manufacture, you are going to produce electricity, then you will assess the accounting things. What is the future value of this price? Future value annuity factor. Present value of future projects. Okay, this is very important. So, as an engineer, you must find the profit, the firm which you are going to work. Profit is the most important word. It is because financial health is very important for a company. So if we waste our money to useless projects, what will happen to the company? So you have to find the profits for the company. So you have to assess these kind of things. The project evaluation is very important. So financial analysis are very important. Okay. Profit. What do you mean by profit? What do you mean by profit? Have you ever heard this word? Nipuni? 1819-084. Profit. Zero to 6. Pasan? Have you ever heard this word? Profit? Sanjeevan?
Labhe, sir.
Labhe. In Sinhala Labhe, yeah. Reward for taking risk. We will discuss later. If we take decisions in an uncertain environment, if our business will make successful gains to the company, it's called profit. Yeah, it's a profit. Okay. Yeah. Therefore, all engineers regardless of their employment, should know methods and tools used in evaluation of projects. These methods and tools are called engineering economics, project evaluation techniques. It is not technology, it is economics or accounting. Okay. The purpose of engineering economics is to explore all engineering students to the methods which are widely used for evaluation of projects. So all the things we are going to discuss in engineering economics is project evaluation. Even though engineering economy deals mostly with selection of projects in business environment, the tool and method can be and are used in individuals and non-profit organizations. You are going to develop some projects for individuals as well as business firms or non-profit organizations, NGOs using, as well as government projects. If you are suggesting some projects to the government, everything is related to project evaluation. So, final thing. So, engineering economics deals with methods, very important word, methods that enable individual to take economic decisions with minimize cost, maximize benefit. I explain what is the benefit, maximize profit to business organization. You are going to find methods, you are going to find evaluate methods, you are going to find methods in engineering, but we are going to evaluate deals with methods to take economic decisions. Economic decisions are rational. Those are tangible, not hypothetical. We can find profit or losses. If we want to find profit, profit means reward for our entrepreneurship, we can use two methods. We can minimize our cost as well as we can increase our revenue. By reducing cost and increasing our production, we can earn profits. We will discuss later. Some examples. You want to buy a forklift. Sometimes you have to think whether you should buy it or hire, lease. You can assess it. Sometimes government institutions try to buy vehicles for themselves. In our university, we have our own vehicles. As well as we can hire some vehicles. We can assess what is most profitable. If we maintain our own vehicles, we have to maintain it. We have to spend huge amount of money to replace tires as well as engine repairs. But if we hire or lease, we can avoid these things. So you can take rational decisions. As a student, sometimes you are going to buy motorbike or something. But at present, sometimes you are going to buy a car. When you're going to buy a car, you can think twice before buying a car because maintenance cost is very high. Whether to buy or lease, that kind of things in your life, these are highly related to rational decisions. Okay. So this flowchart shows that we face physical environment as well as economic environment. In my discussion, you are going to produce something. You know engineering things, in natural sciences, you know physics, these kind of things you know. So these are physical environment. If you produce one kind of machine, it's physical thing. But if you want to sell it in the environment, sell it in the market, it is economic environment. So there are two conditions you face. It's called total environment you face. Sure. That's why in our study guide, but I explained you at the very beginning, we have to learn some economic measures. So, from onwards, I am going to teach you what are the things in economics as well as what are the things in engineering economics. So, here in economic measures, you should understand what is GDP, what is gross national product, what is exchange rate, what is per capita income, what is balance of trade, what is balance of payment deficit, what is savings, what is investment, what is unemployment, what is inflation, what is stock market. These are economics. As well as in engineering economics, I'll teach you how to assess projects, how to incorporate interest rate into your projects, then different kinds of cash flows, as well as payback periods, then cost calculations, like blah, blah, blah. All these things in our syllabus. Now you know, now you are well aware about economics, engineering economics, and other related subjects. My next question is, what is the difference between accounting and engineering economics? Can you give me your answer? What is the difference between accounting and engineering economics? Accounting. Accounting. Can you help me by giving your answer? What is accounting? No answer? Accounting was engineering economics. Accounting, evaluation of past performance. In engineering economics, we are going to evaluation and prediction of future events. Can you understand these two ends? I'll help you further. Okay. In accounting, we evaluate past performance. You know, some accountants or chartered accountants, they evaluate some businesses, companies. It's called auditing. Have you ever heard this word, auditing, audit?
Yes,
Have you ever heard this word?
yes, sir.
Yes. Auditing. What do we audit? We audit the activities, records of past occurrences. If you are going to audit a government bank, as an example, I want to audit Bank of Ceylon. But I can't audit the transactions at present. Concurrent auditing is not there. Then I'll go to BOC or whatever the bank I want, then I'll ask their financial records related to previous year. Then I'll collect all the previous year's records and I'll check whether these records are okay according to the financial standards or not. That's called auditing. In your school societies, it may be a sports society or different kinds of societies in schools, no? Then you appointed one member as treasurer. What treasurer does is, he audits the transactions records related to previous activities. But auditing of previous activities is not worth for the proposed project. So in engineering economy, we are going to evaluate future events, future projects. As an example, if you are going to construct a highway, new highway, then we will evaluate the cost and benefit of these projects. That's why different kinds of assessments are there. Sometimes it's called EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment. What is the impact to the environment if we select this project? EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment. As well as what is the economic impact of this project? Okay, as an example, we constructed new highway from Colombo to Katunayaka International Airport. What are the what are the benefits of this project? What are the benefits you can identify? What are the benefits?
Fast routing.
Sorry?
Fast routing.
Yes, we can reach to destination in between 15 to 70 minutes from Colombo port to BIA airport. But previously we spent more than 1.5 hours. We can reduce our time. So it's help to increase the efficiency of the people. Yes, it's a good answer. Yeah, what are the other benefits? Please give your opinions. What are the other benefits? Because in this subject, discussion is the most important method to widen your knowledge, because you must think as rational students. If you want to be rational, you must talk, you must discuss. Yeah, what are the other benefits? Time savings. Then next, then what are the other benefits? Dinusha, what are the other benefits of construction of highway projects? Only saving time. Time saving. What are the other benefits?
Impact to the environment getting lower.
Impact to the environment getting lower. You say that if we travel more than 1 hour by our own vehicles, the emission rate is very high, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Lower combustion. Yes. Okay. Very good. Then what are the other? Very good. What are the other benefits?
The government have income too.
Very good. Yes. Government will earn money from, it's called toll fee, no? Toll fee. Yes. If you want to utilize or use highways, we must buy a ticket. It's called toll fee, no? Yes. Government can earn income. Yes, very good. What are the other things? What are the other things? Can we attract foreigners or investors? Can we attract investors from other countries to Sri Lanka? If you have
Yes,
a good road network? Yes. They are efficient people. They are productive people. They want to reduce their time wasting. If we have a good road network, then foreigners are attracted. Foreign investors are attracted. When foreign investors come to Sri Lanka, they will give their contribution to Sri Lankan economy. Then we can increase our production. We can increase our production. When we increase our production, our productivity and production will be increased. Then as a result of, we can increase our GDP. It's called economic growth. Okay. There are many benefits, but those benefits are not listed in previous year. Okay. As engineering economics, students who are in the engineering economics, you are going to evaluate these cost and benefits because you have not constructed this highway project yet. Then you will evaluate how many passengers will be used, how many cars, how many lorries from here to port, Colombo port. Then you will calculate what are the benefits in monetary term. Okay, then what will be the cost? It's closer to coastal area. So what are the measures you use to build this project? Yeah, that kind of things you will be able to evaluate. That's the difference between accounting and engineering. Then accounting was economics. Accounting try to explain, try to use some principles. It may be double entry system or that kind of things in accounting. No need to worry about this. But in economics, we are not going to evaluate the financial statement. We are going to analyze and take rational decisions based on some assumptions. Assumptions are not in accounting. Assumptions are in economics. What is mean by assumption? Assumption means you assume something. You assume when you are going to build a new road or new highway project, you will assume this kind of benefits will be there. You will assume. Assume means? Assume means? What do you mean by assume? You think before starting the project. As well as assumption is very important. Assumption is very important in economics because to simplify some complex things, we assume. We use assumptions. I assume all the students are getting benefits of my lecture. It means I assume all the students try to access LMS and try to access my lecture notes and they will study themselves. It's assumption. Sometimes it is wrong, sometimes it's correct. We can't do anything. It's called assume. In economics, we discuss about demand for a product. The factors which determine demand is price of the product, sometimes people's income, sometimes substitutional goods, the goods which we can use as similar products. But we assume when we discuss about demand, all the other factors are constant. The only changing factor is price. Assume that kind of things in economics. Okay. Accounting prepares, analyze, understand financial statements. It may be balance sheet, just like things in accounting. But in economics, we concern about production, consumption, and distribution. Production, consumption, and distribution. As students in engineering faculty, as in students in technology faculty, you are going to produce something. As well as you are going to distribute it among the people in the society through market channel. So you are not going to prepare financial statements. So engineering and economics are closely related. Why? You are not going to report as the people who are in accounting, you are going to take rational decisions by referring these kind of things. That is the difference. Okay. Okay. Finally, what I want to say you is some principles are in accounting. It's called costing, how to assess, how to cost the project in accounting. Similar to these things, in engineering economics, the students who are in engineering economics, you are also going to cost these kind of things. So you are going to do some things related to accounting also. This is the introductory part of my lecture. What is engineering economics? Did you understand what is engineering economics? Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. This is the first part of the lesson.
Recording stopped.
Okay. කසුන් කරන්ට් එක යන සෙකන්ඩ් සෙෂන් එක කීයද තියෙන කරන්ට් එක යන්න තියෙන්නේ 4:20ද
Sir?
කීයද කසුන් කරන්ට් එක මම මේ රෙකෝඩින් ඔෆ් කරා කීයද කරන්ට් එක යන්න තියෙන්නේ 4:20ද
ඔව් sir.
ඔව් එහෙමනම් මම මේ කොටස රෙකෝඩින් එක ප්‍රොසෙස් කරලා මේ ලින්ක් එකෙම නැවත අපි සම්බන්ධ වෙමු මම ජෙනරේටර් එක ඔන් කරගෙන 4:20ට පාඩමට සම්බන්ධ වෙන්නම් ඈ
හරි sir.
හරි විනාඩි 5ක් අපි ගමු more needs. This is the basic thing in economics. What are the needs and what are the wants? If I tell this difference like this, needs are the basic things to survive as a human being. All we are human beings. You are also human being. Need something. In Sinhala avashyata. What are the things you want to satisfy if you want to survive as a human being? Tell me 2-3 things. What are your needs? What do you want? What do you want you to satisfy if you want to survive? Otherwise, you will die. What are the needs?
Foods.
Foods, very good. Yes, food.
Oxygen,
Oxygen, huh?
water,
Water.
Healthy.
Health, yes, good health you need, yes. What else?
Recording in progress.
And less than 8, no? Only 7. These are the basic things to survive. You need to satisfy to survive as a human being. If you don't have foods, you will die. If you don't have water, you will die. If you don't have shelter, you can't protect from rains and sunlight, then you will die. Clothing. It is also very important for your protection of your body.
Recording in
Pictures related to
progress.
wants. What are the wants? Here, food is an essential thing. Then, what are the different foods here? What is this? What is this? Hmm? What is this? These are the different ways of satisfying our needs. Different ways. Food is essential, it is need. But what are the different types of foods? It may be rice, it may be bread, it may be bun, it may be milk, it may be fruits. All these are substitutes for food. You can eat either food, eat vegetables or either eggs or bread. Then what will happen to ultimately? You will get a satisfaction. Then what are the different ways of clothing? Long sleeves, short sleeves, t-shirts, different ways of satisfying needs. It is called wants. Then education, government schooling, government education, private education, international schools, tuitions, then internet, different ways of satisfying this education. So now you know the difference between needs and wants. Needs are the basic things. Needs are the basic things to survive as a human being. Wants are the different ways of satisfying needs. The second difference is needs are very simple. Needs are very simple. I counted as 1, 2, 3 to 7. But wants, how many food items available in the market? Wants are unlimited. Then you are also going to produce something not to satisfy need, but to satisfy different ways. If you are going to make a system or make a machine as an example, if you assume you are not in the technology faculty but in the engineering faculty, you are going to produce a machine. It will produce Maggie, noodles. It is different kind of food. You will address wants. You are going to machine which produce ice cream machine. Then machine for producing sausages, machine for producing uh, whatever, what are the other things, biscuit or whatever, other, and so and so. Okay, these machines, then people can satisfy needs by producing different products. So you are going to address wants. So you must know the difference between needs and wants. My second difference is needs are simple,
Recording in progress.
desserts, then iced coffee, then fruit salads. There is no end. So wants are very complex, not simple. The needs are limited. Only 7. Wants are unlimited. Needs cannot be created. Needs cannot be created. But we can create wants. This is a very important point. When we come to this world, we cried. When we cried, our mother, she gave us milk and nourished, feeding. Then the hunger is inherent for us from birth to death. It is need. But different foods, it is not like this. So we can create wants. So it's very important for you. You can create different wants. These are the differences in needs and wants. This is one difference. Then, to produce these goods and services, these wants are increasing day by day. When you go to filling station, you can see there are many motorbikes. There are many motor cars. But when you go to our past, we used only very limited number of vehicles. But what has happened? Our wants are increasing day by day, day by day, day by day. Sometimes we will demand private jet in near future. As long as person is alive, his wants go on increasing, but the person cannot fulfill all the wants. Why we can't fulfill all the wants? We want to eat rice and curry, then desserts, but we have only 1,000 rupee. How can we buy all the goods? By using our limited number of resources, limited amount of resources. To satisfy, to fulfill our unlimited wants, we have only limited resources. That is also very important. We have only a small area of land. We want to build our house building there. We want to build a factory also there. We want to grow vegetables, start our cultivation of greenhouse garden. We want to produce some greenhouse fruits there. Can we use this small area of land to satisfy all the wants? No. We have to select one. So resources are limited. Our wants are unlimited. So when we are going to satisfy our unlimited wants by using limited resources, we face huge problem in economics. It is the basis for economics. It is called scarcity. So now we should learn what are the resources, what is the concept of scarcity. What are the resources? What are the resources in your faculty? What are the resources in your faculty? You are in faculty of technology now. What are the resources in your faculty? Don't you have any resources? What are the resources? What are the resources? Resources means what are the things you use to satisfy your wants. You want to learn. What are the resources you use? What are the resources?
Lecture halls,
Lecture halls, very good. Lecture, yes, lecture theaters.
ICT labs,
ICT labs, very good. Buildings, yes, ICT labs. Then,
teachers,
yes,
lecturers,
teachers, yes, lecturers, teachers, lab attendants. No? Then,
canteen,
canteen, very good. Then,
gym,
hostels,
gym, gymnasium, yes. What else?
library,
Library, yes, very good.
ground,
Ground, playground, yes, okay. Yes, okay, enough. Thank you. Yes, these are the resources. In economics, there are 4 resources. These are called land, capital, labor, and entrepreneurship. First one is land. Land is all the things we use to produce goods or services, but all the things given by the nature which we use to produce goods and services. Given by the nature, there is no any human intervention. Then what are the things in your faculty? The resources given by the nature. You gave all the examples related to other things, but you didn't give any example related to labor, land, natural things. What are the things? Natural things? It is not man-made. You said buildings man-made. You said lecture theaters man-made. Playgrounds man-made. But things given by the nature. You don't use any natural resources, no? Yes, I'll give you examples. First, sorry. Yeah, tell me.
air,
Air, very good. Air, sunlight. These are natural, no? Oxygen. Without having oxygen, can we survive? No. These are called land. All the natural things given by I'll explain you. Okay. Then land and capital are property resources. Property. These are physical. We can see physically. But labor and entrepreneurship, these are human resources. I'll explain one by one, don't worry. Land. The term land generally refers to resources which are freely available from the nature, given by the nature. Land can be explained as spaces as and all natural resources along with living and non-living things, which are used by human beings in production. What are the things? Mineral resources, forest, climate, soil, rivers, sea, geographical placements. My question is, what are the natural resources which we use to produce electricity? The resources given by the nature to produce electricity. What are the resources?
Water.
Water, very good. Second,
Wind.
wind,
sunlight,
sunlight. Have you ever heard tidal waves? We can use tidal waves to produce electricity. Have you seen? මුහුදු රළ පාවිච්චි කරනවා කියලා electricity හදන්න අහලා තියෙනවද? Have you heard?
Yes.
yes,
All these are natural, given by the nature. That's why these resources are called renewable resources. Renewable resources. That's why energy which produced by these resources are called renewable energy sources. Renewable energy sources, we see. Solar power, renewable energy sources. Hydropower, renewable energy sources. Okay? Okay, you got it. Yes, wild animals also, land, wild animal. We don't have any intervention there. The following characteristics of land. Being a gift of nature, it's given by the nature. Supply being inelastic. Inelastic means stretching, no? We can change the supply. But as an example, laborer, we can transfer one nurse or doctor from Anuradhapura to Galampu. Yes. Mobility is there. As well as we can increase the supply by hiring more and more people. But can we increase the stock of oxygen given by the nature? Can we increase? No. Can we increase sunlight? Can we increase wind? No, we can't do. If we increase it, it is not given by the nature. Immobility means we can't move it from one place to another place. Possibility to improve productivity. We can increase productivity. I'll explain what is mean by productivity. It is not homogeneous. It is heterogeneous. It non-uniformity. Land areas in Anuradhapura is totally different from land areas in Putlam. Totally different. It is not homogeneous. It is heterogeneous. Yeah. What is the payment for land is called rent. Why should you learn about this land? If you are going to assess, if you are going to evaluate a project, if you are going to hire the land, you will have to pay rent for land. You can't put payment for land. You can't put it. What is the special word? The payment for land is called rent. That is the word. That's why you must have these kinds of foundation things in your subject. Yes, I said renewable and non-renewable resources are there. Yeah, what is the difference between renewable and non-renewable resources? I explain you wind, tidal waves, then solar and hydro are the renewable energy sources. But what are the non-renewable energy sources? Then crude oil or fossil fuels, then coal, charcoal, then what are the other things? Diesel, fossil fuel, no? These are non-renewable energy sources. Then what is the difference between renewable and non-renewable? Renewable, what is the difference between sunlight and fuel? Sun rises every day, no? Do you agree with me? Sun
Yes.
rises every day. Yes, but what is the nature of crude oil? Huh? Why we are waiting for getting fuels from fuel stations? It is limited. The word we use, depreciation. Depreciation, it will decrease with the utilization of resources. We have some specific amount of stock. We have crude oil deposits, but gradually it will decrease day by day, day by day. We will have crude oil only for next 20 years. After 20 years, we will not have fossil fuels in the world. It is called depreciation. It is also very good word, depreciation. In Sinhala, ksaya venama. But renewable resources are subject to depreciation, but non-renewable resources are not related to subjected to depreciation. Wind power we can use continuously. Okay. My first resource is here. You can see non-renewable resources: oil, charcoal, natural gas, nuclear. All these are non-renewable resources. Here, wind power, solar. Then resources are characterized as renewable and non-renewable. A renewable resources can replace itself. It will recover itself. But non-renewable resources are not like that. Yes. Next, the resource is labor. What is meant by labor? Mental and physical effort used to produce goods and services. Why? I said you, as economists, as the people as the students who are learning economics, we don't consider about other things. We don't consider about other needs. We are discussing about only the economic things. That's why the labor which we use to produce goods and services are called labor. Sometimes we use our labor, we use our effort not to produce goods and services, but to do some charity services. Can you give me some examples? Religious things, then charity services. Can you give me some examples? Can you give me some examples? Can? Kasun,
Sir,
can you give me some examples? Not for producing goods and services. Sometimes we or people supply their labor for some charity services and religious activities. Can you give me some?
Perahara,
Sorry?
Perahara,
Yes, for perahara, for alms giving, for funeral services in villages. That you say that's Ramadan. Then monk, reverend sisters, they supply their effort, but they don't earn money. So it is not labor. Okay, the mental and physical effort used to produce goods and services. After producing these goods and services, we can send it to market and we can earn money. That's why it is called labor. You can see some examples here: engineers, here doctors, here laborers, teachers. All these people are called labor. They supply their effort, they provide their services to earn money. Otherwise, these are not called labor. They should provide this labor to produce goods and services, as well as they should earn some money or that kind of thing. Sometime after getting the services from carpenters, we can give them some sack of grains. Okay, it is also labor. Providing service, then receiving rewards or something. It is called labor. You got it, no? Yeah. Are doctors, engineers, and carpenters similar or different? Carpenters, workers, laborers, they provide their physical efforts than mental. But doctors, engineers, teachers, lecturers, they provide more mental effort than physical. So doctors, engineers are called what? Human capital. Human capital. They are called human capital. In Sinhala Mano Pragdane. They are called human capital. They provide more mental effort than physical. They provide more mental effort than physical. Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Now, what is your position? You are going to be just laborer or human capital in the country? Just laborer or human capital? You will be called human capital because you will be graduates, no? So some kind of expertise, no? So you will be called human capital. That's why these days we have huge problems in the country. So government has taken an initial steps to send our workers to foreign countries to earn more dollars. There are many repercussions, no? If doctors, engineers leave from the country, it is called brain drain. Buddhi galane kela. We say brain drain. So why? They are human capital. They are not just laborers. So laborers earn less amount of money than human capital. Doctors, engineers, they earn more than 2 lakhs. But workers, laborers, they earn less than 100,000 rupees per month. That is the difference. So I want you to be human capital, not just labor. Unemployed graduates will find some unsuitable jobs because it is not matched to their degree. So it's not human capital. Working as a carpenter, not a problem, but working as a carpenter after having your graduation, what will happen? So please try to read maximum fruit of your education. Take every possible effort to fulfill your degree as well as provide your productive service to the country. Okay. Then you will have to improve your soft skills as well as hard skills. All the graduates will have certificate, but they are different from other graduates in with regard to their soft skills, communication skills, punctuality. That's why I always encourage you to come to the lecture in time. It is also when you practice it, it will be a soft skill, good soft skill. Okay. Yes. What are the characteristics of labor? Labor is human, no? It's live fact. We can move one place to another place, as well as heterogeneity. Doctor is not similar to carpenter. Doctor is not similar to lawyer. Doctor is not similar to chartered accountant. Heterogeneity. Possibility to improve productivity through education and training. All the people can work. All the people can provide their labor. But all the people can't give medicine to patients. Okay. So as a result of education and training, we can increase the productivity. After hiring the workers to a factory, the factory will give them a good training. Why? At the basic level, they are not productive. After giving them a good education and training, then they will get the experiences to how to produce that product or service very efficiently. Then we can improve the productivity. Possibility of decision making in an organization. Land cannot take any decisions. It is not live. But people who are in the business organization, they can take decisions. So it is very important. What is the reward for labor is wage. Wages for laborers. Wages for laborers. Reward for land is rent. Reward for labor is wage. I discussed two factors. Now capital. What is mean by capital? All the man-made resources are called capital. All the natural resources are called land. All the human effort is called labor. Now all the man-made resources are called capital. Capital. You said your lecture theaters. Here you can see machines and machineries. Machines and machineries. Do you know the difference between machine and machineries? Give me one example for machine. What is machine? You are in the faculty of technology. You must know what is the example for. Is grinding mill a machine or machinery? Machine or machinery? Ishan, my question is for you. Is grinding mill a machine or machinery? Lakshika, machine or machinery? Grinding mill? Machine or machinery? grinding mill is a machine. The example for machinery is power station. Power station. There are many number of machines in the machineries. Okay, machines and machineries. In Sinhala yantra saha yantragara. Machineries. Okay. Here you can see robots. Then buildings. It may be banks or whatever. Buildings. Then here this is not natural. Tea estates, no? Long-term plantations. Here, the animals which we use to carry goods and services as a transport media. Mode of transport is here, you can see a donkey. Then, instruments, tools which you use in agriculture. Then, transportations, the vehicles in transport sector. It may be lorry, vessels or aeroplanes. Then irrigation systems as well as computers, softwares, then other harvesting machines. These are called capital. Man-made. The developed land area also called capital. Why? If it is natural, it is land. But when people do their development projects there, it will become a capital. Yes. What are the characteristics of capital? Capital is man-made, no? It is not natural. It's a real factor. We can touch it, tangible. We can stock, as well as it has also productivity. Possibility to use in production again and over again. We can use machines over and over again. It will not end. Possibility to depreciate. Sometimes we will have to replace RAM when we use computers. Sometimes we will have to replace tires if you use vehicles. It's called depreciation. Depreciate. Benefit or reward for capital is called interest. Reward for land is called rent. Reward for labor is called wages. Reward for capital is called interest. Then my question is, highways, airports, what is the factor or what is the resource? Here you can see, that's the thing I wanted to tell you. Here you can see fixed capital, real capital, physical capital, circulating capital. These kind of classifications are there. Fixed capital means we can use over and over again these kind of things. Machine, factories, buildings, these are fixed capital. But these are related to possibility to depreciate. But what is working capital? Yarn or raw materials for producing garments. Raw materials, fertilizer, electricity, then fuel, crude oil. All these are capital, man-made resources. These resources are used to produce garments, but it is not fixed. It is called working capital. Different types of capitals are there. It is called working capital. As well as we can see some infrastructure in an economy. What are the infrastructure in Sri Lanka? Highways, then Colombo Port, Hambantota or Mattala Port, then Kattunayaka International Airport, then Victoria Dam, Mahaveli projects, then telecommunications. All these are called economic overhead capital. Economic overhead capital helps to attract investors to country. If you have a good infrastructure system in Sri Lanka, then foreign investors are attracted by these resources. They will come to Sri Lanka to invest their money. That's why these things are called economic overhead capital. Then another thing is social overhead capital, then schools, hospitals, playgrounds, all these are related to increase the welfare of the people.
Sir, we can't hear you properly.
Recording stopped.